Amen, sister. Yes, Kendrick. Y'all don't have no questions. No questions. Yes. Thank you, Mama V. Appreciate that. All right, so you guys already know what to do. It's time to make sure your week is booked out. We got 18 minutes before we jump on Shaq's hour blitz for setting appointments out for your week. All right, get better at your craft. Make sure that you are helping a client apply for life insurance every 3 days. Coach told me if you are not, you should be going crazy. If you are not helping a client at least every 3 days, you should be going crazy. And if you're full-time, that means you're not making money. If you're part-time, that means you'll never get off your job, period. You'll never get off your job. Thank you, Sarah. 30 minutes, that's right. You'll never get off your job. So important, y'all. All right. Anybody else have anything? Donald, Jam, you guys want to add anything else to our training that we did this morning?
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Your morning affirmation, how did you make that, or?
I stole them.
Okay.
Some of them are mine and some of them I stole. So there's the one Donald was talking about. She is a multimillionaire in what is the name of that business? TLC. I forgot what it stands for. But her name is Coach Stormy. And she coaches me from afar. I subscribe to her coaching every month. I pay for it, right? Because her mindset is ridiculous. She used to be a stripper. She got pregnant at 15. She used to do illegal things to get ahead. She joined this business. She used to be overweight. She joined this business. She changed her life. She makes $1.3 million a month. You heard that right. 1.3 million a month. She just turned 40. And this woman is phenomenal, phenomenal. So I sent Donald a video of her going through her affirmations, and she plays music, and you can feel the energy off of this video from her doing her affirmations. So I took some of the ones that she said that applied to myself, and I used them. Like obviously Senior National Sales Director, that's a Primerica thing. I put that in there. The Bible ones, that's from the Bible, obviously, but a lot of the ones like, I will never be broke another day in my life. She said that. I felt that in my spirit. I will never be broke another day in my life. That thing right there hit me like a ton of bricks. So I took that from her. A lot of the personalized ones outside of the scriptures, she said, my energy is clean. All blocks are moved. My vibes are up. I am so powerful. I'm so blessed. I took that from her. Because you all know a lot of the times when you become successful, you start getting attacked. And it's so unfortunate because when you follow her on Instagram and Facebook, you have people attacking her on her thread. And that's what she's talking about, right? My energy is clean. Don't matter what you say. My energy is clean. All blocks are removed. I see you, throwing shade, throwing hate at me, but all blocks are removed. My vibes are up no matter what you say. I felt that in my spirit because how many times do we have people hating on us? You understand what I'm saying? Just because you're doing the right things, just because you're doing a business that they don't want to do, but you doing it. So some of the things that she said, I took from her, and some of them are personal. I am so healthy. I'm so humble. I'm so happy. I'm so wealthy. Obviously, that's mine. I am so strong. I am created for greatness. That's mine. I am so blessed. I am so loved. I'm impeccable with my word. I got that from a book I was reading, The 4 Agreements. I am growing spiritually and economically. I actually got that from Peggy Hightower, who is a phenomenal speaker and motivator in Primerica. You can YouTube her, Peggy Hightower. She's actually out of Maryland. Phenomenal spiritual woman. Phenomenal. She does a lot of that. She has one YouTube where she's talking to God. This is a really good one. And she's asking God all these questions. I'll send it to you. She's asking God, why didn't my mom love me? Right? Why did my mom love my sister more than she loved me? And then she goes into these affirmations, how she got out of thinking like that. And she's a $1 million earner in Primerica. Phenomenal woman out of Maryland. Her name is Peggy Hightower. Look her up. She's sitting on a stage. She has a chair sitting across from her, right? And she's having a conversation with God. These things are important, you all, because it helps your mindset, right? Because how you think about yourself affects your business. Worrying about what other people think affects your business. right? So it starts here. If you think of all the successful people in Primerica, their mindset is sharp. It's right. So it's big. It's so important because when you go on an appointment, all of these things are in your mind. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, they're looking at the way I look. Oh, how did I say that? Oh, I did it. But if you go in there sharp and you know without a shadow of a doubt and you assume that you're going to close, guess what? You're going to close. It may not be this one. I went on 5 appointments, y'all, and nothing happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I started getting discouraged. I'm like, what in the world? I do my affirmations. That's why it's important. And I'm cemented in Primerica. But them 5 appointments, asked my team, I'm like, yo, I done went on 5 appointments, y'all, and nothing has happened. And then that morning, bow, got a max case. And then bow, got another one, just like that. And then it came back. That's why this stuff is important. It's so important because it's up here, and it just does something for your confidence. You know, you walk, like Dallin said, he walked faster to the bathroom because he's confident, smiling at himself because he's confident. If you're not confident, you're not doing these things, you're frowning, you're finding something wrong about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That's why this stuff is important. And guess what? When I do this, man, I feel so good. I feel so empowered. I feel like nothing, no one can stop me, no matter what happens. It's like energy. It's like gas to a car, right? It's like a superpower to a superpower hero when you do your affirmations. That's what it's like, because you just get more and more empowered every day. Every day you get more and more confident. That's why these things are important. So you can steal some, and then you can kind of make them your own. That's what I've done. And if every time I hear one, I jot it down. The serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Holy Spirit, I really cannot control my tongue or right. Come in and take control. I yield to you. Give me a tongue that glorifies God. I noticed since the pandemic, I've been cursing more, y'all. I'm like, oh my God, I need something to control my tongue. I've been slipping. I'm like, oh, I was talking to my girlfriend the other day. I'm like, yo, I need to be in the sanctuary, because I'm like dropping bombs that I ain't dropped like that in a minute. I'm like, this is bad. I'm talking to Shaq. Y'all know Shaq got a sailor mouth, so I'm throwing what he throwing. We just going back and forth. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I had to start saying this affirmation, like, yo, I don't like this. I'm talking like a sailor. So it's just, you know, these are the things that we got to do, y'all, to get better. It's so important. But that's a great question, Gab, because I didn't understand affirmations, you all. So I needed something to help me. I'm like, where do I start? I am what? I didn't know. So that helped me. And every time I hear a good one, or I think of one, or I need to work on something, I jot it down. But it takes time. And I have a lot. I mean, this is them written down right here. This is like a little book that I read, right? So I read this every morning, and I'm like walking around with my say like this, and I'm reading these jokers like all around my little office space that I work in. But it helps me, man. It really does. Because sometimes I just don't feel like it. But I got up to went to my job every day. And that's what I tell myself. I'm like, dang, Shay, remember when you didn't want to go to work? You did it anyway. And you wasn't even doing affirmations back there, but you got your butt up and went to work. So why can't you do your business? The inner battles that we all deal with, right? It's important. All right, y'all. Anybody else got a question?
Could you also send me the link to Peggy Hightower?
Yes, I can.
And what was the first from that, Coach Stormy? What was the first one that you mentioned?
What I mentioned. Gotta remind me, son. I don't know.
That Coach Stormy, her first affirmation that you mentioned from her.
Oh, I will never be broke another day in my life. That one.
Yeah.
That's the one. That would hit me like a ton of bricks. I have to affirm that, because being broke, it didn't look good on me at all. It's not fun. I had to affirm that one. But she's amazing. But I'm gonna tell y'all now, if you go on Instagram or Facebook and you follow her, she curses a lot and she smokes marijuana. I'm telling y'all now, okay? So don't judge her, because she's an avid weed smoker. I mean, she be on that joker token, and yeah. So if you follow her, just know that it's a different type of business what they do. They do some different stuff over there, but y'all will get what I'm saying. This woman is phenomenal, very successful. she's amazing. Her story, what she's been through as a stripper. So that tell you the type of where she came from, right? She was a stripper at 15. She was having sex with men at 15. She got pregnant at 15. So she's come from the mud, the dirt, the bottom. Now she's this phenomenon. She's been in People magazine. She's been on TV. She makes $1.3 million a month in her business. And she's created $1 million earners within her business. She got like 3 or 4 of them. And she just turned 40 a few months ago. So her future is bright. But she does curse a lot and she smokes weed. I just wanted to throw that out there for y'all who don't follow her.
Thanks, Shay.
You're welcome, ma'am. Anytime. I
What's
will
her
send
name
you
again?
Somebody said something.
What's her name again?
Coach Stormy Wellington. Coach Stormy, Stormy, Wellington, Wellington. She also has a book, The 9 Principles of Getting Wealthy, I believe is the name of it. It's a phenomenal book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I encourage you guys to go listen to other leaders outside of Primerica too, because success speaks the same language. It doesn't matter what business you're in. It speaks the same language. It really does. She does meditation. She does a live meditation at 9 o'clock every morning. That's really good. She's just phenomenal. She's phenomenal. Anybody else?
Shay, can I just share my story real quick?
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
So I know, I've been doing this for over 3 years now because I've been a client for now 15 years. I didn't get into the business until I was a client for 12 years. And at that time, the reason I got into the business is because my older brother-in-law was sick with cancer, and thank God he survived. But just last year, my younger brother-in-law was also diagnosed with brain cancer. Unfortunately, he just passed away last month. And I haven't really talked about this to everybody in the group. I think you guys heard stories, but I don't think everybody knows that he just passed away last month.
Yeah.
And, this was my very first death claim that I did personally with the help of Samira, obviously. I just didn't realize it would be my family. I mean, you always say insurance is something you want to have in case something happens, but you don't really want to use because, at the end of the day, everybody wants to live long, right?
That's right.
Unfortunately, he died from his cancer, and there were family issues that I'm not even going to get into. But the bottom line is, Primerica had paid out the death benefit in 3 weeks. Okay,
Oh.
and just to be very precise, 11/11 was the day that he passed away 11/2, November 2nd. I sent the wife the papers on 11/11 for her to fill out and made sure that she had the original death certificate. She sent back the papers to me on the 23rd, okay, and of November, and we got the check last Friday, which let me be very precise with the.
How much was it for?
It was $600,000. Because they started with 500,000, but they did the IBR, which came in really very handy. So we got the check on the 11th, which is a Friday, and we mailed it right away because we gave her the option of us, delivering it to her, or she opted to have it mailed, and she got it on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know that people always say, Primerica might be a little more expensive, but you get what you pay for. She never had to call anybody, right? It was just me. I basically initiated everything. She didn't call 1-800 number. She didn't have to be on hold. Okay. She wasn't given the runaround. All right. And that for me, that's priceless. Okay. You may save $10, $15 a policy, but you're not going to get that service that you get with this company.
That's right.
So I'm even more of a believer. I mean, I've always been a believer of Primerica. Obviously, I would not be a client for 15 years, but seeing this and actually experiencing it with my family, it just, I'm 100% believer, but now I'm like 1,000% believer of Primerica.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've had clients where they just need to call, to make some change in their policy or whatever, or they had questions about the policy and they're on hold for 2 hours. Yeah. I was just talking to somebody yesterday. She said she was on hold for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And even with that, she didn't even get a decent response from that person. So again, this is probably one of the reasons that people will not sign up, because they think that we're a little too pricey, but we're not even that pricey. We are not the cheapest, but I'm telling you, it's worth every, penny of extra money that they will pay in, because they will not
Absolutely.
get that personal service. And I just wanted to share that with you, because that's my personal experience with Primerica.
That's it. That's important. Everything that you
So,
just said.
And everything, and I think a lot of, real stories resonate
Yep.
with people. And I just wanted to share that with you, so you guys can share it with the people who are giving you, flack for maybe being a little too pricey. Okay.
Right. That's
So I
huge.
just, I wanted to because I think for me,
Thank
that's
you.
very important. Okay.
Yes.
So.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That story should go in you all's arsenal. We always talk about stories, and you heard it from Sheila herself. That's a family member, you all. She was going through it with him as well and still did the work for his wife. Think about that. $600,000 in 3 weeks. $600,000 in 3 weeks. Overnighted the check, got it the next day. Put that story in your arsenal. I know I am. I had already been telling it, actually, because me and Sheila talked. So she had already told me that story. I just wanted her to say it. So I encourage you all to put that story in your arsenal. Sheila, we appreciate you. You are phenomenal. You've been a great example in our business. And I always talk about you making 80 grand part-time. That's another story that I got from you. Just being a phenomenal example, a phenomenal woman, wife, business owner. Everybody loves you. We appreciate you. And thank you for that. Thank you for being who you are in our business and being that example, because we needed that. Right. So you guys use that story. Right. And you're right. I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. I think Tiffany said that. You're right, Tiffany. You're right. But I borrowed it. All right, y'all. We got 1 minute to jump on Shaq's 30-minute blitz. Book your week out. Keep in mind that story you just heard. That's why you got to talk to your family members, because you never know what can happen, you all. Call your family members. Tell that story. You guys have a God bless day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Talk to you guys soon. Teammates, top notch. Jump on Shaq's 30-minute blitz.